this. Do it on YouTube.
We're going to ignore you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Bye. Hey everyone on YouTube there, how you doing? Are you alright?
I just feel I'm much less flattering than that one.
The camera on this one is worse. So we've got YouTube to the right, not the YouTube, we've got Facebook to the right of us. Right, welcome to this Tuesday night. We are here with my sister, Hannah Dolan Davies.
Hola.
She is an ice skater. She has been with Disney on Ice for the last 6 years, and she's just come off the road. She's been let out.
Woo! I'm free.
So,
just kidding. I love you, everyone.
We wanted to talk about the similarities and differences in tour life, basically. I mean, you guys have heard a ton from me about how I sort of survived and stuff. But we wanted to particularly talk about the mental and the physical aspects of it and keeping healthy, mentally and physically. So to start out, Hannah, tell people about yourself and who you are and blah, 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 blah.
Hello, everybody. So I have been skating since Emily and I started skating together. I was around 7.5 when I started at Ali Pali Ice Rink, and then continued to skate, had a competitive career, stopped competing when I was about 19 or 20 and actually had an injury for a couple of years. So went out into the real world and did a very, very interesting job in the city. Though. I made some amazing friends, and basically the injury healed. And I had the opportunity to go out with Disney on Ice, so I left immediately. I grabbed that bull by the horns and I got out of there and started in Fort Myers, Florida, and proceeded to do 6 years with Disney. And amongst those 6 years, made some lifelong friends, learned an awful lot about being away and all kinds of fun stuff that I'm sure we'll cover. And just came off the road probably about now. How long have I been home for?
2.5 weeks?
Maybe 3. Yeah, it's
she's still reintegrating into society, and
I'm
not even joking.
Yeah, normal world is weird.
And so, do you want to tell them a little bit about? Because obviously, as musicians, the way that we tour, we come into a place, we stay there for a night, we do a gig, we move on. Sometimes we travel overnight, or we might stay in a hotel and then fly out the next morning, and then it's on to another gig. So it's very quick. Well, I thought this was normal, and then I think it is still normal. But tell me how you tour, because this is ridiculous.
It's not normal. Okay, so
it's crazy.
Basically, we do the very slow-paced version of what musicians do.
You say this?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. On one hand, it's slow-paced. So
explain.
So basically, depending on the tour, normally you do a week in each city. So that means you would travel on a Sunday night or a Monday, and then you'd get to your destination. You'd usually maybe have Monday, Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday off if you're really lucky. Open the show on a Thursday, or if you're like, it's the best week ever, you might open on a Friday, but very unlikely. And then you'll have like a show on a Thursday, maybe 2 on Friday, maybe 1 again if you're lucky, and then 3 on Saturday usually, and then 3 on Sunday, or maybe 2. Again, it varies week to week, or ticket sales and all that kind of stuff, the market that you're in. But it's different.
It's so different.
For me, when I listen to the way Emily tours, and obviously we know a lot of musicians and that lifestyle and the pace of things, that sounds terrifying to me. Like traveling overnight and then having to do a gig the next day.
Yeah.
That is awful.
I have a point though. Do you know what's wonderful about the way that we tour? And because it's so funny. So if you're in a beautiful place, like when you were in Barcelona or something like that. No, you weren't. You were in South America, weren't you? Anyway, you were in some awesome places, and you get to be there for a week. And obviously, I've done a tour of South America. We did it in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They did theirs in 11 months.
No. Oh, yeah. I suppose it was. Yeah. 10. Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're in beautiful places and you get to spend a week there, that's amazing. However, you do sometimes end up in some less than desirable places, and you have to stay there, don't you?
No, you get sometimes occasionally you'll be somewhere. There's 2 versions of this, because you might be somewhere where it's either not that interesting, which sometimes I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but occasionally
I'm so glad you're not.
you might be somewhere that's not that exciting, or there'll be similar points to it in the previous city, so you'll kind of have seen some of the I'm trying to be really PC about it. Anyway, so it might be really boring, but then on the other side, you might actually be somewhere really dangerous. And we're very lucky in the sense that we have security in these dangerous places. And one of them actually is tuned in on Facebook. Hi Diego, shout out security. We're very lucky in the sense that they will tell us, hey, don't go out here. You shouldn't leave.
Yeah.
Then
you do.
And no, I'm really good at playing by the rules. Occasionally people do pop out and there's a reason why those rules are in place, and people always come to realise that. So that can be tricky, because if you're in a dangerous place and you know you can't, there's like a food shop right across the road and you're like, I just want to go and get, a piece of chocolate, and you know you can't, it's very frustrating. But
I'd find that.
That's the world we live in. Like, there's some good places.
We've had our first question. Fernando Riviero Neto has come on to YouTube. Yes, we love you. Anyone on Facebook that wants to ask us questions, come on to YouTube. We're only answering questions on there. Right. He asks, you're going to get this question because I'm not going to answer anything, maybe. How's the difference between the touring life as a musician and as an ice skater? Well, actually, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be able to cover all of this. You kind of said we were, and I was like, we're kind of not. I think we're going to cover like 2 things, and that will be an hour, I can guarantee. Yeah. So with that being said, we'll go on to the first thing that we wanted to talk about. It's a subject that I've covered in one of my other videos, and I thought it'd be a good place to start because most people know my sort of take on this. So it would be, I'd prefer you to listen to Hannah's experience, basically. And that is the mental side of touring, and how do you survive? How do you not go absolutely crazy?
Yeah. Hi, Sarah Samworth. I'm seeing you tomorrow. I don't think you know that, but I am.
Hi, Sarah Samworth.
I think, at least.
Oh, and Steve Chade. Sorry, we missed you. How you doing?
So I think personally, it is way more taxing than you even realise. And people from the outside, you tend to put a persona out on social media, and like what people see. Obviously, it's like those memes when you have what your mum sees, what you think you do, what the world thinks you do, what you actually do. It's 100% that, where you're feeling like you're going out and you're having a great time. And actually, like for me, coming off the road now, I'm starting to realise how much of a emotional toll being in that position can take on your mental state. And I don't think people really are aware enough to like take care of themselves.
Yeah, I think because adrenaline gets you through it so much as well. I mean, obviously my thing is very short periods of time, but I reckon adrenaline would probably get you through that 11 months in spurts.
It's more a case of like being on the road. Say you're on a long tour and you're on an 8 month solid tour and you're out the entire time. You sort of just get into this state of it's just constant hope.
Yeah.
And like I was thinking about it earlier because obviously Emily and I spoke about doing this before, and I thought, what is it that me personally makes me so stressed out? And I don't want to toot my own horn here. I have a great deal of empathy for people, and we were touring with about 60 people. And so, of course, a lot of people are dealing with things at home or even on the road or personally, like work-wise. And I find myself entering into people's emotional difficulties as much as I have my own. So then that stress sits on my shoulders, and I find it really hard to not do that. And I've spoken to a few people about that since coming off the road, because I just feel like this weight's been lifted off my shoulders, and it's no one's fault but my own. It's something that I just do. I don't know why, and I wish I could change it in a way, but then so I am. So
I'm not sure that is a good thing. Like, it's a lot of responsibility, and yes, you feel like you have the world on your shoulder, but you were in a position where you were looking after a lot of people, weren't you?
Yes. So side note, this is important too, like my position in the company. I was a performer, but recently I was also what we call the ladies line captain. And on the road, that means that you teach the ladies that you have, you teach them a show, you sort of give any feedback from the performance director to the performers. But me, myself, like when performers were having issues, I'd always try and be there for them emotionally. I mean, I'd like to think that I'm like that anyway, even if I wasn't in that position, because I find that I try to be.
I think that's why you got into that position, to be honest. I'm sure maybe, people recognise that and said, do you know what, she'd be really good at that. And then there you go with that world on your shoulders.
So it was... I found that really hard, and but I didn't even realise I found it hard until I came home. So I think for me, like the coping mechanisms, they got lost, because I just sort of got on this state of anxiousness that it was like, this is normal, this is who I am now. And then I got home and I was like, oh wait, no, I'm not. I feel great.
It's funny you say that, because when I spoke to you when you were on tour, even like, I could notice a discernible difference. Obviously, I'd only speak to you once every month or couple of months on Skype. And obviously, if someone's on tour, you're not going to say to them, you don't seem very well. Like,
I'm sure
you need to sort yourself out. But the thing is, as I know, as you know, I'm lucky enough to understand that there's not much you can do when you're in that bubble. Like you say, you're in tour bubble. You're in coping mode, and it's just like, I just need to get through this. And knowing that you were coming off the road anyway by the end of this tour, it's like, right, I just need to sit and listen to what you, because you would vent about, things that are going on, and obviously, because you can't do it to the people that you're on tour with necessarily, apart from maybe your fiance. But it's difficult, there's a balance, and you have to be seen to be that. I
think like I was very lucky in the sense that the people that I had as my core set of friends on the road, who continue to be my core set of friends.
A lot of them are on Facebook right
now. They are. I see one of them right there.
That's Taylor. Oh, is that Taylor?
Yes.
Oh, Taylor.
Hi. Yeah, the core set of people that I had around me was so good, and like so Taylor, who we just said hello to, her fiance. Congratulations. Yeah. Her fiance is Jono, who I've been friends with. Sorry. It's just because on the road you're not there, and then I get used to telling the story. We have been friends with Jono for basically like over 20 years. And
that's so different.
I know. It came out, and then I realised what I said.
It's like 25 years.
Okay. Anyway. So we've been friends with him a long time, and having someone like that who's from home, that I trust him with my life, as you would as well. And same with Taylor now, like we just formed this like immediate bond, and like there were lots of others as well. Like that's just one example of the two of them that, I could talk to them really about anything, and I was lucky like that. But then I kept a very strong unit of people at home too. Yeah. And like my friends at home and my family, obviously with Em and my mum and dad, like I kept an open dialogue always, because you never know on tour what's going to happen, or worse, if something happens at home. And that's probably for me the toughest thing that could happen. I've been really lucky that, this bad things that have happened, I always somehow managed to be at home for. I think the hardest thing I ever had to deal with, which is people probably laugh at this, but my cat died when I was in Greece. And you think... I
didn't realise that.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten that. Was that your first year?
It was the only time I've cried in public on tour.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
I'm a bit stoic, as... Yeah. All the people watching will probably attest to.
Family trait.
Yay! I'm not one of those people. Yeah. Like I'm very like I want to show people love, but not like
you don't want to burden people with your emotions.
Literally, no. That's literally it. Because if you cry, someone's like, oh no,
and then they
oh no, I'm fine. Yeah. So what was I saying? What was the point?
Do you see the family resemblance? This is what I spend my life doing. What was I talking about? Yeah, we were talking about mental coping. So, okay, let's take this last year that you had out of the equation, because obviously your whole mental state changed because you were put into a new role. You suddenly had a new way of seeing things. So let's talk about general touring beforehand, when you were a cast member, you were a principal.
No, I wasn't a principal. No.
You were before?
No. I did a short stint as a principal. It's just a short one.
You were in the chorus, but day-to-day touring, like what things daily did you do to kind of keep yourself on track? Like, did you have routines to your day? Like, I know you have schedules that you have to keep to anyway, but what are the things that you sort of, in the same way that so mentally, to keep myself, like, my perspective good, I would talk to people from home, like you've already just said. I would listen to music, go for walks, exercise. Like,
I actually have. So there's a few things. I actually have a few certain songs that I listen to if I'm really missing home. I think one of them would be Newton Faulkner, Orange Skies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say something out of the Hand Built by Robots album.
No, that's like, if I was really missing home, I'd put that on. It just made me happy. Or weirdly, this is a bit depressing and it's not connected to home at all, but Radiohead Videotape.
That's so random, but I get it.
The live version.
Only the live version?
Yeah. Like, just
like live versions.
But it's not like live in a stadium. It's live in basement sessions.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly the one you
So
mean.
good,
It's really good.
so good. But yeah, I listen to certain particular songs. Music in general is lovely. It always gives you a lift. But particular songs I listen to, and it just kind of, I don't know, brings me back again to whatever it is like I'm trying to get to. I never used to work out ever. Like, I was one of those people that, like, gym, no, hate it, hate everything about it. I'm sorry if Nathan ever watches this. Nathan, you're great. This is my old personal trainer. I love seeing you and hanging out with you, but the gym, not my favourite. Until this year, and I picked up a bit more of a gym habit. There was a group of us that ended up doing this 30-day beach body challenge situation.
Which was ridiculous. You came off the road and I was like, how do you look so amazing?
I must say, I've never felt better. I haven't done much since being off the road, so but I will
skirt over that.
We'll just go over that. But yeah, like that as well, like, helped a lot. Having that routine of, like, right, okay, well, we know no matter, even if it's a terrible show week, we're gonna all meet and we're gonna do this workout and suffer together. Yeah. It's gonna be great. But normally, the other thing, like, coping day to day, is like silly things like cooking. I always call it cooking, but cooking.
Do you?
Yeah.
I've never heard you call it.
I think it's just a Slav what we should do with cooking. I don't know where it's from. But yeah, so cooking and, like,
so we're kind of going into the physical aspects now. So working out. So all right, cooking, go. We were saying we basically want an excuse to talk about food. So this is the crux of the actual subject.
It's true.
By the way, hello Bocco as well. How you doing?
Bocco.
I would say your surname, can't say it. I'm not even going to try. Do you want to try?
Bocco, no, Hotzendorf.
Good enough. Sorry if we've murdered your name, Bocco, but yes, we're trying.
Yeah, cooking is obviously a challenge. If you're away for any period of time, regardless of whether you're touring or not, it can be a bit of an anxiety for some people. Obviously, yeah, we have to keep fit as well, and that can be difficult. So eating, like, McDonald's every day, although some people can get away with it, and kudos
like
to you.
16.
Yeah.
What's the youngest kids on your tour?
Well, ours was 18, but then I've known 17-year-olds to be on the road that have guardianship. Yeah, that's the whole thing. But yeah, so that can be great for some people, but for me, I just can't get away with that anymore. So it's depressing it may be. I used to have a bowl of melted chocolate at least once a week, which included 3 this size bar of Galaxy.
Yeah, she's not even joking. It was
disgusting. No joke. But
so disgusting.
Can't do that anymore. So you're not technically allowed to cook in hotels, so I'm not saying everyone go and do this, but we used to buy these skillet type things, and it is a pan that's a little bit deep that you plug in, and it acts as, you can fry food in it, you can boil water in it, which obviously then you can boil things. You can even make, like, dips type situations in there. And although it is fried food, or more boiled food is obviously okay, you still have that sense of home comfort, and you can like control your portion sizes, which if anybody's ever toured the States or been in the States, portion sizes are not the same as they are here. So
they're huge.
yeah, they're different.
And they're full of sugar and fat.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's very difficult to like know what you're eating. Always tastes great though.
Yeah, a good example is like if you order like a Caesar salad, which here it would be, you know, whatever it is, and sometimes it can be like that here too. But a Caesar salad, I've been given a Caesar salad once, which was about like yay big, like the entirety, this spherical area here, about this deep, and it would have all the sauce you could ever imagine, the Caesar sauce, and then pieces of fried chicken in it, which obviously is amazing. Why would anyone not want that? It's glorious.
But not every day.
But you can't have it. It was like, if I'm ordering a salad, it's not because I want to eat fried chicken. If I want to eat fried chicken, I'm going to go eat fried chicken. I'm not going to get a Caesar salad. That is a joke. I'm going to go get a large Domino's and eat the whole thing to myself. So yeah, so that was that for me meant that like coming back to cooking was always going to be the way forward. Yeah, so that was my cooking experience. Obviously, again, challenges if you don't have a fridge in your hotel room, which most of Europe you don't. So I know some people would buy little plug-in fridges.
Oh really?
Yeah. But traveling them obviously can be an issue. We were lucky in the sense that obviously we've got the trucks with all the stuff in it, and if you can find an area to put someone, like if you could bribe a crew guy and say, I will buy you beers for the next month, can you store this in your crate?
They'll probably do it.
9 times out of 10 they're going to be like, beer, cool, yeah. I'll do it. So yeah, that was one way of coming up against that. Me and Slava used to always just do a lot of grocery store runs. Sorry, I know that's an Americanism.
Sorry, there's probably a few Americans on here, so it's fine. Oh, we have got Laurie. Hello, Laurie. He's from Bristol.
Hey, Bristol.
He's not from.
I love Bristol.
Yeah, Laurie's really lovely, actually. He's a really nice fella. He's been around.
You just did that thing where you said, actually. What? Never do that.
What do you mean, actually? Oh, no! No! My mum does this weird thing where she'll say, oh, that outfit's really nice, actually. And then you're like, actually.
What do you mean, actually? Yeah. Like, did you not think?
No, the only reason I said actually is because I actually know him.
Oh, okay.
I think that's why I said actually.
Right, gotcha.
Like, it's not like he's not a random. Well, he is because we haven't met in the flesh, but you know what I mean. So sweet, and Bristol is getting Lush Babe.
Oh, Lush Babe. To come and visit. That. I love Bristol. I really love Bristol. Yeah, I've only been like one time, and it was such a short. I went to see Ken for like 2 hours. He was so mad at me because I couldn't stay for longer. I felt really bad. But yeah, it's beautiful. I will need to go back there.
Oh, I'm sure we'll be doing some gigs down there. We'll give you an excuse to go down there for sure.
Perfect.
But yeah, so I wanted to say that I don't know if I've told anyone about this, but so when Hannah first went on the road, and she was doing all her like skillet stuff and cooking in the bathroom, and I was like, this is so cool because it's the one thing I miss so much when I'm on tour is cooking, because it's such a huge part of like what I love in life. I love food, I love cooking. Even today, so Hannah and Slava, her fiance, came around today, and initially I was like, I'll just shove a pizza in the oven, and I was like, maybe I'll just make this salad. Oh, maybe I'll just put this in the salad. No, I'll just do it. And it just ended up being a thing rather than this simple idea. And it's just because I love cooking. So anyway.
It was delicious, I should tell you. The salad was great.
It was all right, wasn't it?
It was.
It was a bit random, but it was fine. So anyway, the thing that I miss the most, and the thing when I get stressed, cooking like totally levels me out. I don't know whether you're the same. Do you have that?
Yeah, it can do, yeah.
Yeah, like if I'm really stressed, I'm like, right, I'm gonna go and make some bread or some cakes or some cookies or a big meal.
I'm a bit more on a basic level than that. I'm gonna go make a cheese sandwich.
Yeah. You're not, that's a lie.
No, but cake and bread is hard, man.
Yeah, I know, but that's a new thing.
Oh yeah, she went on a course.
Went on a course, and I haven't made. No, I've made one loaf of bread since, and the course was 6 months ago or something like that. No, it wasn't that long. It was 4 months ago, I think. Anyway, so yeah, so having that on the road, because like tour is a stressful place, even if you don't realize it.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you just go, wait, and you get het up in like things that are not important in the real world, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
But
yeah,
then
yeah. 100%.
within tour world, it's like this big thing.
It feels huge.
Feels massive.
It's like when you're a teenager and something happens, you're like,
yeah,
the world is ending! And it's the same on tour. Like, something happens, you're like, no!
Yeah.
Oh, we all survived! And then you're like, oh, wait, we will, and it's going to be okay.
In real life, this is actually nothing.
Not a big deal at all.
But the thing that would bring me back to that was cooking. So what I did, when Hannah first went on the road, she was talking about this skillet thing, and I was just like, what is this? She's like, so it's like a frying pan that you like plug in, and I was like, what planet are you on?
No one knows about it here.
No, it's not a thing over here. But anyway, Devlin.
I remember.
And honestly, it was like my whole world had shifted. The most hilarious thing is that I had a tiny bag for my clothes, and I had this massive bag for my clothes.
That's what tour is like for us. We have a whole suitcase that was full of cooking stuff. It was the cooking, it was the kitchen.
Yeah.
We called it the kitchen.
I get it. I totally get it. So I had like my skillet, I had a bunch of spices and like salt and pepper. I had like knives and a little chopping board and like all this stuff. And every day off, I would cook in my hotel room, in the bathroom. If you ever cook in a hotel room, you have to cook in the bathroom. And also, if you have smoke detectors, sorry, this is my Invisaligns and I can't talk properly. Socks. I lost so many socks on that tour.
Oh, that's a good idea.
We never do that.
Plastic bags.
Also a good idea. That's actually probably better because I lost like my favourite pair
I
of
can
socks.
just imagine this sad-looking sock hanging from the. Probably looks horrible.
Yeah, I did think. I thought, gosh, when the cleaners come in, they'll just be like, "What has been going on in here?" But anyway, yeah, but it was really great. And like even on the days off, I would get texts from the other band members going, "Are you cooking?" And I'd just be like, "Yeah." They're like, "Could you make me some?"
Become the most popular tour
Literally,
member.
I would go around to everyone's room and give them like, if they were hungover or whatever, I'd make like a fry up. Like, here you go.
I'm telling you, you can make some legit meals in those things.
I thought you were going to say some legit friends. I was like,
oh yeah, that too.
Any person that cooks for me, instant friend, forever.
For sure. And it does, if you have, like, we used to do this all the time on tour, you have a potluck situation where anybody, obviously, again, on the road with us, like most people do have skillets. So what you do is you say, hey, everyone, bring something. Come round. We'll all eat together. And it brings everyone together. It gives you a really good excuse to, number one, try each other's dishes, which you find out some amazing recipes, like crazy stuff. Amazing stuff.
I was just about to say, I remember, was it the first year you came back from tour? Like, so she's back for like a month a year. And you're like, my friend made this amazing dip. I'm going to make it for you. And you made it. And I was like, she's been in America way too long. She thinks this tastes good. This is horrendous.
And to anybody that, if I was to explain what this dip is to anybody that's on my Facebook, is going to go, oh, I love that dip. It's so delicious.
To these people what this dip is.
Okay, so this dip, Emily bought Slava and I this slow cooker. It's actually like a 7-in-1 cooker that you can do all kinds of stuff in. And one of the first things that we learned how to cook, the first thing that we made in there was, it's called buffalo dip. So what you do is, prerequisite, Emily hates cheese, which I didn't like. I always forget, because who hates cheese? Emily.
Apart from mozzarella or halloumi.
Yeah.
But other than that.
So this dip is like cream cheese, usually like, I think it's 1 or 2 bars, cheddar cheese.
1 or 2 bars of cream cheese. Cheddar cheese.
Yeah, cheddar cheese, Frank's hot sauce, like a whole bottle, the buffalo one. And then we usually put like green peppers, green peppers, spring onions, and canned chicken. Oh, I'm sorry, I know it's not. And then you just let it sit. And a ranch packet dip, not the creamy stuff, but the packet. You pop it all in there, and you can let it sit for like 4 hours or whatever. It will change your life. If you like cheese, do it.
All the English people, how disgusting does that sound?
Actually, please,
Laurie's hungry now.
Yes.
No.
It's it's great hangover food. It's great like food for
It's
lots
got
of people.
lots in it.
It does have lots in it.
It's
Of
disgusting.
chicken.
And pepper. Chicken, canned
Oh no,
chicken.
Michael Bell's watching. I'm sorry. He's at culinary school. I feel like, but you did try that dip and he liked it. I remember it. You and TJ. I
So-
remember that.
For everyone on here, Michael Bell is like the LD of Disney.
No, he was. He's not anymore.
No, but he was when you were doing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing LD. Like, hi Michael, you're right. Erks was on there as well. He's probably not there anymore, but he said say hello.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
So,
I'm sorry, Michael. He is definitely judging me.
that's
You
so
tried it and you
funny.
liked it. See, it was good. Actually, it's Dave McCarthy, who is also a crew or was a crew guy with Disney. Not sure if he is now. But he also reminded me and he pointed out that you can cook things in a kettle. For instance, you can boil eggs in a kettle.
I've heard
You
this.
can make pasta in a kettle if you're really patient. But eggs in a kettle could change your life, particularly if you're doing anything athletic and you don't have a good breakfast. Like a lot of the hotels kind of, well, not a lot, but there are some hotels where you'll go downstairs and it will just be cereal, bread.
Yeah, in American hotels, yeah.
Yes, actually, they usually do eggs. They'll have
well,
maybe not real eggs, but they'll do
powdered
some
eggs.
version of eggs.
I hate those powdered eggs.
Yeah, but if you need eggs to start your day, which I know a lot of people do, eggs in a kettle, it will change your life. It's
Yeah,
so
look it up.
good.
There's stuff on like Pinterest and YouTube about it.
Just
like
pop it
literally.
in, set it off.
Yeah, it's
Boom.
really good. Did I tell you about my rice cooker that I took on tour for a
Yeah.
while? So I had this mini rice cooker because for anyone that doesn't know, I don't think I've said this yet on like public forums, although people that know me know this. I love rice. Like I'm obsessed. Do you love rice?
Not as much as you do.
No,
I love pasta the way you love rice.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, I love it. So I just thought, I know, I'll take a rice cooker with me. And it was great. I could cook rice, obviously, but I could also do like omelettes in there, which was really cool, and boiled eggs and poached eggs. But then some stuff was a bit rank, like some stuff got really overcooked, and I was like, oh, and now I've got to eat it because I've done it.
You don't
Like,
want to waste the food.
no, exactly.
Yeah, done that many a time. You're like,
in fact, the
here we
last
are. This is all we have.
time,
It's happening.
let's just think of the nutrition
Yeah.
that I probably
Burn out of it. Yeah.
But yeah, the last time I did that actually was with the darkness, and I set off the hotel alarm.
No! You're one
I'm
of
one
them. We
of them.
hate them. You're like, if you set off the alarm, you're like
no,
big trouble.
but I somehow managed to stop it. Like I managed to fan the
Oh yeah, I've done that.
and then it stopped,
Yes.
and I was like, "Was that me?"
It blatantly was.
It was because
It's blatantly.
I went into the
Wait,
hallway.
in the bathroom you set it off?
I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. I probably did because
She went rogue and tried to cook in the
Look.
main compartment.
you told me the best place
That's
to do it, and I took your advice. But I have a feeling there was a smoke alarm right next to the bathroom door, maybe, and so maybe I thought it was a really good idea to do it by the window with the window open.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
If it's wafting in, yeah.
It's not good. But the reason that I later realised that, well, I think it was, is that so we went out to do the gig, and let's say it must have been like
Where
4
were
hours
you?
later in Ireland.
Oh,
Like-
is that when you filmed that video as well?
Yeah. So the
Ah.
video we did at the beginning of the tour, and then we went to the tour, and this was towards the end. It might have been in somewhere like Clonmel, which is where they make Magnus cider.
Oh.
It's like it's a really nice little place actually. And anyway, so we must have gone and done this gig. So let's say we were at the hotel for like 4 hours or something like that. I came back, and as soon as you got out of the elevator on my floor, I was like, just the smell of food. And I was like, oh my god, it made it smell like a restaurant in here.
That
Well,
happens quite a lot on tour as well. For us.
and not a good restaurant though.
Oh.
I can imagine though the mix of smells in your
No,
hotels.
but we also had like it was an unspoken rule that you don't cook fish in your hotel
Oh
room.
really?
Smelly fish, like that is a no-no. Like I remember there was one person that we toured with a while back, and that person would consistently cook fish, and it became like a little bit of an issue because you come back to the floor and like you said, it hits you like a ton of bricks, and you just
totally.
and it's disgusting. And I'm not a big. I don't like cooked fish. I love sashimi and like basically non-fishy fish, fish fingers for days, all day long. But
classy.
classy bird
With
me.
your ranch grossness and fish fingers.
All right, let's not get crazy.
It's gross.
Ketchup and fish fingers.
Can we just see what if people have been saying things? Right. Steve Shave says, what's wrong?
We're looking on YouTube for the people that are talking to us on Facebook. So
Come
if you
to
want
YouTube if you want to ask some questions. If you go youtube.com/Emily Dolan Davies, it's on my one because I'm being selfish.
elevator, lift. Thank you for telling us. Yes. Sorry. That will happen.
She'll get out of it soon.
I'm trying. Roads and streets. It's a whole thing. Hi, Sophia Karatzis as well.
Oh yeah. Hi Sophia. Sorry. And Steve Shafe. See, this is what happens to me on these live.
You've already said hello to Steve.
No.
Oh yes.
He said actually, lol. Yeah, I do that a lot. What is he talking about?
See, I remember he's saying when you say actually, I like your t-shirt actually.
All right.
Oh yeah, your hair looks all right actually.
No,
that's the worst one. Yeah, your hair looks good actually. That's what my mum always does to me.
She has some
It's the hair thing one.
At the weekend, we went to a wedding, and she was talking about, so there's this like ski suit that I had years ago.
This is a good one.
And she said, oh yeah, like, and I said, look, I don't think I'm going to use it. And Hannah said, I'll have it, I'll use it. And my mum went, no, you won't fit into it. And it's like, what are you talking? Like, Hannah's tiny, like you're smaller than me. And she was like, yeah, well, it's like a size 8. And I was like, do you think I'm a size 8? I've been a size 8 since I was probably about 14.
I was like, I can fit into a size 8 dress sometimes.
Yeah. You were wearing a size 8 dress.
I was wearing a size 8 dress.
How do you know this is a size 8 dress? Because that's my mum, and I just sort of said to her, put down the shovel, it'll all be fine. She's probably watching on here by now. They probably cut their dinner short just so that she can come on and say hello, I'm sure. But anyway, anyone that knows our mum will know exactly what we're talking about. She's so lovely. She means well, but
and she just kept going. She was like, no, it's just that, you just can't fit into a size 8 because, you're shape. No, I don't know. I was just, I felt really good about myself 20 minutes ago.
I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah, I really was. Yeah. And I am going to fit into that ski suit.
What, by hook or by crook?
I will literally cram my way into that thing.
Just to make a point and then come out and go, see? Someone cut me out of this.
That is exactly what will happen.
So, we were talking about Americanisms and all that. I was talking to this guy who I'm going to be recording for in November, right? Mm-hmm. And he sent through like all these notes and stuff. And I was just like looking through it. I was like, yeah, all good. And I emailed him back, just going, yeah, all looks great. Sound as a pound. And
where was he from?
He's from like Middle America. And I sent it, and I was like, he's gonna not know he's gonna think I'm crazy. So I had to email him back and just say, oh, I'm really sorry. Sorry, that's a real Englishism. That basically means it's all really clear and great, like all good. And he emailed me back, and he just said, it's fine. I lived in London for 15 years. And I was like, I'm so glad because that happened a lot. This is the other thing that you'll encounter on tour is that you have a lot of mixture of cultures and people from different places. And more often than not, all people want to do is make fun of English people's accents. No, I think everyone wants to make fun of everyone.
True.
Because we have that on tour, and most of us are all English, and we just rip it out of each other.
That is very true.
It's family, isn't it? You become family like instantly. It's crazy.
Michael Bell was the absolute person to do this all the time. Michael Bell, Chet, TJ. Well, I sort of loved it though because I love you guys, but not Chet, he's the worst, but the rest.
Bad-mouth people on the internet. That's
no,
bad.
he knows. It's fine.
All right.
He would.
My name is Anna Dolan Davies.
He shouted that to me across the ice not too long ago.
He just shouted it across you to the internet.
People were very confused.
Oh, we've got Laurie here. Our auntie is on. Oh, knew it. You ended what? Knew it. Oh, you ended up talking about food for most of the set. Oh, almost set fire to a room. Yeah, well, that was me, wasn't it? Have you ever almost set fire to a room yet with your food making?
No.
Fun fact about our family, we're not so good with fire.
Yes. Very bad track record with fire.
We've probably
Actually, not that bad. We've not set fire to anything.
no, but we've been very close.
A lot.
So like maybe 5 gardens, like 5 separate times.
Yeah.
Like
Actually, I'd like to put this down to our dad more than anything.
we are related to it. No. You might have been able to before, but was it this year, Mommy's birthday? When you decided to put all the candles of her year. In fact, it wasn't even that. It was half the amount of candles. I'm not saying how many
I
candles.
was going to say,
I'm not that person.
tread carefully.
Yeah, I'm not saying how many candles. So me and my dad were trying to occupy her in like the top bit of this flat.
And it's a flat.
It's a
That's
flat.
an important detail.
That is an important detail.
It's not some...
And Hannah was downstairs. And we were just like chatting, you know, and she's wanting to, like, my mum's trying to go downstairs, obviously, because whenever you're trying to do a surprise, the person wants to go where the surprise is.
Naturally.
And suddenly, the smoke alarm went off, and we were all just sitting in the kitchen bit, nothing cooking or anything. And everyone was like, what's it?
And it was loud.
We were like, so
it's not like
loud.
a cute, like,
No,
it's like, and I'm down there, there's smoke billowing from these cats, billowing. I'm not, like, she's a young lady, but there were a few candles billowing. It was disastrous.
Hilarious. But almost the same thing happened on your birthday about, what's it, 6 years ago in that other flat?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly the same thing. Went to go and set all these, I was going to say set these candles on fire. Maybe that's where we're going wrong. Stop trying to set things on fire. Just light candles. And it just, we ended up having to like put it by the window or something. I can't even, did we chuck it out the window?
We couldn't open the windows because we didn't know how to open the windows because it was still a new place to my parents. We hadn't been there a lot. We didn't have the keys. And that's what always happens. We don't know how to ventilate these situations and get the smoke out to stop it
from... only create the smoke, basically. We're not
anyway, what were we talking about?
Yeah.
That was a big diversion.
We've got
Don't light candles in hotel rooms. That's about it.
Don't do candles in hotel rooms. Never. It's not worth it because if you get caught, don't you get fined?
Yes, but you hide them. And actually, this is important. So when I'm on tour, one of the things that I do to keep mentally sound is things like making each hotel room your own, which
that's a good one.
Is hard when you're on a short tour. But if you're ever in a place for a week at a time, I used to carry around really lovely photos of my family, friends. I had about a wad about this thick, and every week I just pull out a new one, pop it up, one or two. Nice. It was lovely. That lasted about a year. And then I thought, this is what I need. That's one pair of shoes. So
you should have got like an electronic frame, but that probably wouldn't work the same.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
Shoes.
But candles is the type of thing that we put in our kitchen suitcase. Or we actually had this roll of LED lights, and you'd be shocked. Light as a feather it was. Plug in. You'd be shocked at how a row of LED lights can change the ambiance of a room. Like, you just pop it above the bed. It makes it look a little bit like a brothel, but if you get the light setting just right, it's really
definitely
nice.
Looks like a brothel.
But again, like, it definitely looks. Again, like at Christmas, same thing. Like, if you're away at Christmas, it can be a very, very difficult time to be away for some people, as it is for me. Like, really tough. Christmas is very much so. Like, we always do Christmas. Just like 4 of us. Obviously now, like, circumstances have changed, there'll be more of us. But normally, prior to me leaving for tour, it would always just be the 4 of us on Christmas Day, from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. And being away for that is very hard. Yeah. So we'd always make a point of buying a Christmas tree, and you can always get the little ones, even get some lights, some little decorations, and even the process of going to a shop and buying these Christmassy things and setting them up in your room, and having that cute little area that you can put presents near, it changes your mental state of being like, oh, it's Christmas now. But if you come into a room and you know it's Christmas, and you know what hotel rooms are like, they make them so that they're clinical, so everyone's happy. They don't want to upset anyone with the decor. So like making those little changes can really change how you feel walking into a room. Absolutely. And it's the same like with the lighting. And I know, like, I wasn't joking, like candles for me was a big thing, or just having a room spray, or having another big thing. People travel blankets with them.
Oh, really?
Like fluffy blankets, and they'd carry them.
You would so do that if you had your old one with the
100%, yeah. I bought one in my first year, and it stayed with me for a long time. I think we only got rid of it because we were coming away from that show, and we couldn't travel it. It was too heavy to take home and then bring back out again. But I would have kept it for the entire time. It was like a leopard skin fluffy blanket, and again, like it sounds kind of nasty, but having your like smell on something that you carry from place to place. I know some people do it with pillows as well, where you can have
your gross dressing gown. She has these gross dressing
no. That was for work. So
okay.
if
that's another mental comfort thing, isn't
100%. Like, I barely washed it. If you'll do a show ever, and I don't know if this counts for like West End shows, but on the ice show you were expected to bring or buy a robe that you in between, like when you're changing costumes, or say you're in a number and then you have a little break and you go back to the makeup room where we all sit and wait for our next number, you would wear a robe. So I had this, my mum bought me this robe at a competition probably like 10 years ago, and it was
really that long ago.
Yeah, and she bought it for me. She said, I'll buy it for you if you skate well.
Bribery.
I didn't. I skated horrendously. In fact, she bought it for me anyway to cheer me up.
You've always been a rebel.
No, it was like it was a bad skate. Anyway, so she bought me this robe, and it stayed with me, and I took it with me because I thought you had to take one with you. I didn't think that you could buy one, stupidly, but it stayed with me, and everyone sort of knew me for this robe by the end of it. Because,
really?
Yeah, like everyone knew that
stunk that much.
Oh, here she comes. Oh no, it was like a thing, like that leopard skin robe was just my thing, and I would wear it as often as I possibly could.
Questions: did anyone else buy a leopard skin robe and you were like, hell no, that is my
not
territory.
a fluffy one?
No. Very important.
In saying that, there were times that having a fluffy robe, and a lot of people that know me will attest to this, where wearing a fluffy robe is essentially like encasing yourself in living hell. Because if you're playing certain buildings like Japan, for example, they wouldn't turn the aircon on for us, or the aircon didn't reach backstage, or whatever it was. But me being me, like stubborn, so stubborn. It's my robe.
Family trait. We have a question. Mm-hmm. Steve Chape, who's still here, who I'm sure we're saying your name wrong. It's probably something really elegant like Chafe. Question: how would you deal with a band member, crew, or cast member who upset you on tour? You go first.
I've had this happen to me loads of times, because obviously when you're on tour, you're interacting with people that you can be best friends with, and then you interact with people that you don't necessarily connect with as well. And sometimes people do things that you think, no, I don't agree with that at all. I find it helpful to always take a step back before you take a step forward, because often in your tour bubble, things seem a lot worse than what they actually are. And sometimes when you're stood right up close to something, all you see is that one thing, and when you take a step back, actually it's only this big. So take a step back, discover how serious the situation is. If it is something serious, then obviously I'm one of those people, I would pull that person aside at a later date privately, and just ask them, what's up? Are you all right? Like, what was that all about? Or do we need to talk about something? If it's a problem with me, obviously, I'll say, look, is everything okay? Have I done something to upset you? Or if it's something where someone has said something offensive to someone else, I'd sometimes just say, hey, just be careful when you say things like that, because I noticed it upset that person quite a lot. And sometimes, obviously, if it's not your business or whatever, I can understand some people don't want to get involved in other people's business. We come from a place of, like, if someone says something offensive, particularly if it's to do with, like, I feel very passionate about race, or if it's ever anything like sexist or
just derogatory
to
do with
anyone,
something that is not in your control. If it's derogatory towards that, it's the most ridiculous thing. It makes no sense.
We've been raised in a way that really everyone is not normal, therefore we're all normal.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. And I'm not saying that, like, what I'm saying is we're weird.
We're so weird, but so is everyone.
So is everyone.
So let's be weird together.
Let's all be weird together. And like, I try and just be as diplomatic as possible and realize that you're not going to get on with everyone, and that's okay. You don't have to be best friends with that person.
Yeah, to be fair, maybe you don't want to be best friends with someone that is inherently not very nice to others.
Which is actually very rare to come across, I find.
That's also true. Yeah.
In my 6 years of touring, there's only been a very small amount of people where I thought, you know what, I actually can't see myself being friends with you or getting along with you in some way.
That's quite a good hit rate, considering there's, 60 people on every tour? 40, 60?
There's 60, but then you also have like the people that sell the merchandise and the locals, if you've got a consistent local crew.
So that's quite a good hit rate, really.
Because I and again, you're the same, there's always good in someone. It doesn't matter.
I haven't released this yet. I put on a video that's coming out next week, it's the week after, I think, where I tell the story about Auntie Mary saying about that thing, like, do you know? Oh no, you weren't there.
No,
I don't think you were there.
No,
so when I was a kid, you must have been there. We were around her house, and she basically was like, right, there's good in everyone. You have to find it. I don't care if someone's in jail. You need to find the good in them.
I don't remember that.
Do you not?
But that makes sense as to why my outlook is that way.
To be fair, I think I was only about 5, so you probably were so small. But you obviously took it. Well, we just brought up that way. Like, you always.
It's true though. I agree. I agree
because
with it.
Because the thing is, if you find the good in people, they show that to you as well, and you encourage it.
It's like happiness and like positivity is like a great disease. Like you can infect people with it, and it will travel. Like I love that. Yeah. That is one good thing. If you force people to be happy, they will be happy.
It's the Disney way. Disney.
Okay. Anyway, you go ahead.
Oh yeah, I need to answer that. Yeah. So apparently we did say his name right, but we said it in 2 ways. So I don't know which one was right. So Shafe. No, I said Chafe or Chafe, but you just said Shafe. So who knows? It's a lovely name, whatever it is. So how do I deal with difficult people? I think I'm the same as you, because as you say, for whatever reason, the way that we've been brought up, we're quite empathetic. So I also try and take a step back. I'm not saying that I always do this, because sometimes you are so full in it, it's very difficult to take a step back. But if you can, and then actually think about, okay, logically, there's a reason that this person is acting like this, which probably means it's nothing to do with what's happening in the situation as it is. There's probably something happening behind the scenes, like with them at home.
100%.
Yeah, like
there's always a reason.
I'd say 99.9% of negative interactions I've had with anyone in this world is because it's nothing to do with me, or very little to do with me. Maybe I've sparked something off which is not good, and I'm not taking responsibility for stuff.
No, but you're quite right.
I think it's their frame of mind of whatever else is going on, and they're obviously stressed, and that, and I think I try to be understanding of that, and it also makes me be able to not take things personally, and rather than coming in with an attitude of aggression, not that I'm like that anyway, really, only once, really, maybe a couple of times I've been slightly aggressive, but not actually. I just come at it like, okay, there's something wrong. I need to be there and be like, look, if you want to talk about anything, or be open and try and help them. Like, they're obviously going through a rough time, because that's the thing, if it's not logical. And as you know, as I know, as anyone knows that tours, you're with everyone for a very condensed, intense period of time. Therefore, people's baseline. So if they act out, there's something going on, and you 100%. Need to just go, look, can I help? And they might say, like you say, it's none of your business, whatever. You go, that's fine, but at least in yourself, you've tried, you've opened up that communication, even though they've gone no. A day later they may well come back.
I was going to say, I find some people find that really touching. If you're like, hey, do you know that?
Yeah,
because I'm here if you do.
Yeah, totally. And it's funny, because the longer that you work with people, you pick up on very minute sort of things that I've had it recently where I've seen people, like I might have been on a tour with a bunch of people, then not seen them for a couple of weeks, gone to do like a one-off show, and one person sort of like, I'm like, like it's almost like your bat signal goes up, and it's like, oh, what's that? Like, and then I'll pull them to one side and just be like, are you all right? Like, you just don't see in yourself. I just wanted to check that you're all right. And people have done it with me. In fact, Johnny did it with me literally 2 weekends ago, and I really appreciate it. Like, everything was fine, but I was just like, do you know what? It just shows
that you care.
Exactly. It's family. It's caring. It's not perfect. No family's perfect. No tour is perfect. No band is perfect. Not by a long way. But you do genuinely care for each other, and you will genuinely do anything for, well, I don't know how you feel. I would do anything for every person I've ever toured with, even if I've fallen out with them. no, not even slightly.
No, just kidding. No,
you're running out of battery. Hold on. Sorry, keep talking.
No, I think that's quite right. Like, the family thing comes into play. Like, where you sort of, it's like no, I'm not going to compare that. It's you don't choose that family. Well, that family kind of it chooses you because that's the circumstance
someone else
you're in.
Chooses that family. Actually.
Yes, thank you, Judy Thomas.
Yeah.
But like, I've always been very fortunate with the set of people that I've been put with, or sort of come across, and they have been genuinely good people, genuinely. And like I said, everyone has their days, and it's exactly what Em was saying. Like, you, oh no, sorry. You have those moments where you see these people at their worst as they see you at your worst. And that's why you sort of reach this connection that you might not reach as quickly with other people.
Yeah, it's
because
like intense, isn't it?
You're sort of thrown into this position with each other, and
we're strangers essentially.
Yeah, we have this thing on when you're on the road with Disney, where you would showcase your skills at the beginning of the year, and if you're new to the show, you are essentially performing in front of a bunch of strangers that you don't know, and it's your peers, so it's people that have been skating as long as you, probably longer, probably been on the road longer than you, or if they haven't, they're new and feeling very excited about ice skating. No, that's 5 years not a thing. And it's hard because you are put into this very stressful situation where you're having to show your performance director, your casting director, what you're capable of in front of this very small set of people that know exactly what good looks like and what bad looks like. It's not an audience where they don't know and you can sort of muster through it. And they sort of see a very vulnerable side to you, and that sort of propels you into friendship, because it's like, if someone, and it's happened to me many a time, where you go and you might have a bad skate, and it happens. It's the same with gigs. I'm sure you might have a bad show, and it does happen. It's life. And you always sort of, it will show to you immediately. There will be people that come forward and be like, don't worry about it. It's going to be okay.
It'll be fine.
And I will always try and be that person to someone now, because I know how much it meant to me when I first joined tour. I remember doing exactly that, and I fell over on the stupidest thing. Like, the jumps were good. It's always my way. I did a twizzle, if anyone knows what that is, a twizzle, and fell over, and I was horrified. I thought they're all going to think I can't skate. I'm never going to get any understudies. I'm going to be that girl that thinks, oh, you're the English girl that doesn't know how to do ice skating. And I truly thought, like, everyone's going to think I'm stupid, because that's what you think when you're in a new environment and everyone's very talented and everyone's skating well.
You said you're super vulnerable, and everyone else is like comfortable, or the majority of people are comfortable. But I think that's when the people that do reach out their hand, like you do, to the younger ones and go,
or older ones,
or the older ones, but you know what I mean. You're the one going, look, it's fine. These things happen. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, because it is, again,
perspective.
Like, funnily enough, that year I actually did really well in the end. Like, the casting director.
Well, that first year.
Yeah,
she did incredibly well.
Yeah, she must have like just overlooked that one bit, and it didn't matter in the end. It didn't matter that happened.
I have a question.
I cried in private. I cried about it.
I have a question. Yes. Did you ever speak to Judy about that?
No.
I bet you she doesn't even remember it.
Of course she doesn't remember it.
But look how big it is in your mind.
No, I know, because this is another important thing. That's a life lesson, I think.
So many of these are life
and
lessons.
I've told people this 1,000 times, to the point where anybody that knows me will want to punch me in the face for saying this again. But everyone's story is their most important story.
Oh, yeah.
So to me, that one moment in time was curses, like why? But
Nobody
to
else
everyone
remembers.
else, they're never going to remember that moment. It doesn't matter to them because their story, they were probably thinking about what was worrying them that day, and that's human nature. And I think like when people are being bad to you or mean, and you think, well, okay, what's going on for them right now?
For their
Because
story,
for something is happening that they feel it's, you know, they must be at boiling point to the point where they can't even control who they're
they can't be professional.
expressing that to.
That's the other thing. You have to like. I try and remember as well. Like when things do get bad, which they inevitably do occasionally. I think right. Bottom line, I'm doing a job.
Yes.
And I need to make sure that that job is done. And whether that means taking a step back, taking the energy out of the situation. I find that's the quickest way to take the energy out of any situation. It's like, right, almost disconnect and just go, right, I'm doing a job. Let me do what I need to do to get through this job. And whether that's sort of like going and talking to that person and go, look, you know, even if you seriously don't get on, it's just like, right, we need to find out a way to work together.
Yeah, because you have to. You're stuck with each other at the end of the day.
It's what we're being paid to do, is to do the job. So, like, personal differences aside, we need to just get through this. And I think that's probably the best way to, like, at the very worst that you could think about something, this is my job.
We do that a lot. What's the very worst thing that could happen in this situation?
And it's never that bad.
It's never that bad. Dennis Conway, hello. I did say hello on YouTube also, but we didn't see it.
We didn't see it.
It didn't come up. Dennis. I don't know why, but I saw it.
Dennis is great as well.
Hi,
again,
Dennis.
One of the like brilliant guys. Who have we got? Right, we have got people on the YouTube. Sorry, Dennis, I didn't mean to sort of cut myself off. Right, Matt Black. Oh no. Sorry, there's another Matt Black that's a guitarist, but I don't think it's you. Loving the shirt. I'm gonna assume that you mean mine.
I love it too.
Thank you very much. I like it too. Lovely seeing you on my birthday. Oh, happy birthday. How random. Lorien. Oh, okay, so Lorien is our auntie. We were talking about Auntie Mary. So our Auntie Mary was actually our great Aunt Mary, and her niece is Lorien, who is our auntie now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Both good human beings.
Wonderful.
She says wonderful all the time. I told her off for it the other day. Don't worry, everyone, I've got you.
She's amazing. She's like one of the greatest humans.
Oh, not me.
You're all right as well. Auntie Mary also said, if people are nasty, you don't know what's going on in their life.
It's like ingrained into us or something.
It's in our DNA,
but not even like it's
consciously.
So, not even consciously. It's like subconscious.
It's ridiculous. Be forgiving. Have to love Auntie Mary. Diddly diddly bum bum bum. Okay, right. Matt Black, sad to see you didn't keep the Joker smile. You
if anyone hasn't seen the video,
okay,
it's so good.
So I had my Invisalign. So I've got Invisaligns on right now, which if I turn to the
you
side,
can't see them. I didn't even notice them when we
I
walked
know
in.
you didn't. So because of that, I had like general anesthetic yesterday, and obviously there's a slight lisp that comes with them, which I'm sure I will go. But anyway, so I'm so sorry, YouTube people. I'm just going to show. Facebook people. I'm going to show the YouTube people because since the question is on here, I'm going to show you a video of yesterday as soon as I got out of the situation. Did I tell you someone called me Emily Stallone? I think it's so apt. Right, okay, you ready for this? This is brilliant. This is so funny. I've just had Invisalign fitted and I've had anesthetic. So that's the smile I'm rocking at the moment, plus a lisp. I was planning on doing a video today. I don't think it's gonna happen. Anyway, hope this is giving you a laugh. That's the situation I was in.
It's so funny.
I think it's because I had anesthetic.
I'm jealous.
Huh?
I've never had an anesthetic like that. It's funny.
Yes, you have.
No, I haven't.
You never had teeth out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember.
But anyway, I just, it made me. I just, when you look at yourself and you go, this is a ridiculous situation. I need to document this.
I think she should have done the video. And if anybody else agrees, I think she'd tell us.
Well, I'm not going to go to the dentist and say, I need a couple of injections because I need to do a video so people will laugh. That will be good enough. Honestly, no one will know what in the world I'm talking about. But yes, there you go. You saw my Joker smile again. I will put that up somewhere properly because I think it should be documented properly.
You must.
Sarah Samworth, you were awesome when I saw you on tour.
Oh, thank you. I remember it well. You bought, I can't remember who you bought with you, but we went and had a picture outside. It was Wembley. No, it was the O2. No, was it both? I don't know. It was lovely though.
Are you just venue name dropping right now? Because I feel like
I didn't mean to. Oh,
that's terrible, Hannah. You're not that person. No, I'm joking. Of course you're not.
It was an accident.
It's one of those moments. So we have this thing as well where a lot of really unbelievable stuff happens.
Cool stuff.
It's cool stuff, but it's so ridiculous that, and it happens so frequently that we have to sort of
censor.
Censor what we're saying. Because
I occasionally won't tell people things, even if I think it's applicable to the situation, because I just think they won't believe me.
Yeah, basically, because they're so ridiculous, and
there's so many, and like, if anyone wants to hear, just say, tell us one, and we'll come up with one. There's enough that I could revisit if you want to.
Yeah, just someone say yes, otherwise we'll move on. Right. That's Dennis Conway. Dencon 310.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. So we are seeing you. Sorry, Dennis. Sorry. We are seeing you now.
I think my lips got a bit crusty. Has it?
It's bad. It's not that bad. It's fine. You can't see anyway.
Shouldn't use that finger, should I?
No, definitely not. Right. Matt Black. Can't think of a cop-out question this time. Oh, okay. So Matt Black, I've just clocked what's going on. Every time I do one of these YouTube things, he tries to ask me a question that I try and have like a really.
Oh, but you are bad with that though, Em.
What? Not
having like an answer, like it's like a politician's answer.
Sometimes, but no, he asked me. I can't
What's
even
your
remember.
Favourite? No, like who?
No. There was a really specific question that he asked.
Who's your favourite drummer of all time? Oh, well, this person and this person and this person.
You can't answer that because who's your favourite ice skater of all time?
Alexei Yagodin.
You suck. Anyway, Matt, you can remind me what the question was that you asked me. But ever since this one question that I kind of skirted round and went as a bit of a cop-out answer, and he went, yeah, basically.
I actually remember that. I was watching it. Yeah.
And then ever since he's been trying to get more questions that I can't cop out of. So, me and Matt Black, busy mates right now. Classic. Right. Laurie, you lovely ladies should have a late night show on YouTube. Just imagine the secrets we would learn. God help us all. I know, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh my gosh. Right. Laurie and our auntie told us one. You may as well tell the one about Jinx because.
This is a great one. So,
because Lauren will know what we're talking about.
Yes. So, I was playing in Atlanta with Disney with a show called doesn't matter.
A show called a show.
A show called a show, and we were all at the bar because that's often what we do because we don't have anything better to do.
So
sometimes.
Musicians.
So we were all at the bar. It's an Irish pub. I don't know what it is about Disney on Ice, but we always manage to find the Irish pub in any situation. We could be in China and we'll still find the Irish pub. Anyway, in the Irish pub in Atlanta. And so me and Slava were getting a taxi home earlier that day and saw a big line outside a venue that was opposite our hotel. And we were like, oh, I wonder what that's for. Didn't think anything more of it. Just thought, oh, there's a band playing, cool. Or a person playing it, whatever. Didn't even think about it any further than that. Next thing I know, we're in this bar and pub, whatever, is a bar. And then Jono turns to me, another ice skater who I've known for a long time, and says, "Oh, this is who's playing at that venue across the road, across the road." It's a road, and there is a band, and I'm looking at it. I'm like Black Veil Brides, and he's like, "Yeah," and I was like. And it was one of those moments like, do I divulge this information that I know in my head to be true? However, sounds so ridiculous. I don't know if I could say it. I did, anyway. And I said, my cousin is dating the bassist from that band. And he sort of looked at me like, no, she isn't.
Yeah.
And I was like, was like, oh, never mind, panic, it's fine. And then I messaged my cousin and I said, I think I'm right next to Jinx, who's playing a gig in Atlanta. And she went, oh my God, he'd love to meet you. Let me message him and you can go and meet him. I was like, oh, it's amazing, because they'd been together for quite a long time and they live in LA, and really there wasn't, and we'd never met him, and they were about to be married and we were so excited about it. But it's hard when your cousin's getting married and you don't even know who they're getting married to, and these are people that you love dearly. So it's like, of course I want to meet him. That would be amazing. And so next thing I know, me and Jinx are talking, and he's saying, come to the bus and I'll get someone to come out and grab you. So me and Slava totter over to the venue, and there's this tour bus and there's like fans standing there with CDs, and me and Slava awkwardly standing there, like quite obviously not dressed for a gig, like we were out, like it was, glammed up a little bit. And then the guitar tech came out and met us, and you could see all these fans like looking at us like, who are these people? And they took us and we walked and we got on the bus, and it was so lovely because we got to meet Jinx, who is absolutely lovely. We actually just saw them get married
day before yesterday.
A beautiful wedding. Congratulations to them.
Perfect. Lorien, if you see the pictures, she looks perfect. Like, not just beautiful or stunning, perfect. Like, from the head to the toe, the venue, Jinx, like everything. It was like straight out of a magazine, but better. Amazing, but better.
Yeah. And and so we went and had this evening, and then like people, the word got a little bit around, but like people would just be like, "Hey, you went on a tour bus today."
Yeah, sure you did. Sure you did.
I have a picture.
Yeah.
but again, like, it's one of those things, I would never ever post something like that, because I just feel like people are like, you blatantly just like ask for that picture, or like, I just have these things in my head like, that's not true.
Yeah.
and that is one of many things that have happened.
Yeah, there's many things, day to day, week to week.
Yeah, we always joke because of like other stuff that we sort of walk around with, this like secret.
Yeah, secret things, and it's like, you don't want to know because you'll think less of me.
If I let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just weird.
For some reason, this weird thing has just popped into my head, and I'm just going to say it quickly. It bears no relevance to what we're talking about at all. But okay, when you like, say you meet like a really well-known skater that you really look up to, do you ask them for an autograph?
No.
Or like, no. Why do you not? Can I tell you, my reason is really embarrassing. So
sure.
It's probably the
same. No, go on.
No, go on.
I was just saying, you don't have a pen.
No. You tell me yours and then I'll tell you mine.
Mine is literally just because I feel like autographs are pointless. And I don't see the relevance of me having your name on a piece of writing. I would much rather have an interaction, which I'm very not as socially capable in that type of circumstance than Emily is. Emily's like a networker. I would find it very hard to go up to someone that I look up to in that way, like particularly a skater. Like, say, I'll never forget Brian Gibert. For anybody that knows me, knows Brian Gibert is like really good looking, fantastic skater, lad, like not like, I don't know, he was at the Europeans, and he was right close to me, and I was sitting with this lovely man named Peter Gruter, who is a coach.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, he's coaches in Oberstdorf and is a phenomenal coach. He used to coach Stefan Lambiel, who's like world renowned. Anyway, so I was sitting with Peter, and he's going, just go and talk to him. And I'm like, I can't do it. I can't. Anyway, carry on. Why?
Did you tell me your reason?
I don't see the point.
Okay.
I have Arsenal. I have Thierry Henry's signature.
Do you?
Don't know where it is.
But you know why? It's because you don't care that much.
I don't care.
No.
I do care about that person that's in front of me.
Yeah.
But I don't care about having their signature.
Okay, can I say this is slightly embarrassing, but
Can't wait.
I don't know if you know that.
I think I do, because I'm having like some sort of memory, but it's not there.
Okay, so the reason that I never ask for people that I look up to their autograph or a photo with them, especially,
That's what I would ask for anyway.
Would you? But the reason I don't is because I feel like there's a line, and the second that you ask for a photograph or an autograph, you're a fan.
Yeah.
But if you don't, there's the potential of a friendship.
You could be a friend.
Yay!
Celebrity friend.
No. That's not it.
You're the one. No, I don't mean it like, ooh, I can have a celebrity friend.
Okay,
I just mean like that's what they are. They have celebrity status.
Yeah. I basically want to be everyone's friend. I don't want to.
That's understandable, and I can completely relate to that.
Even
also.
though I'm a massive fan of a lot of my friends, if that makes sense.
Yes.
I will shout from the rooftops. In fact, I'm going to shout from the rooftops now. I went last night to go see Jeremy Stacey at the 606, and that band were amazing. They were playing Steely Dan stuff. Paul Stacey was in the band. Andy Kane was in the band. Rob Malarkey was in the band. Dave Arch was in the band. Oh, it was an evening. It was so good. It was so good. But Jeremy is like so good. He's
amazing.
So incredible. Oh, I love him to bits.
I actually, there's another reason why I would want a photo. Number one, because as anyone that's watched these videos with Emily in them, anyone that knows either of us, terrible memory. I will forget.
Do you have a terrible memory?
The fact that you don't remember that is so hilarious, considering.
Oh God, that's so embarrassing.
So yeah, memory, but then also, I can't remember what the other was.
Shut up! Are you taking a mic? Okay, right. Should we move on? Okay.
It might come back to me.
Sarah Sandworth was at Wembley with her goddaughter.
Yeah, now I
Here we go. Matt Black. Would you? This is the cop-out question. Would you go to the only? Oh, I feel like it's gonna be good. Would you go to the only secret viewing of the new Star Wars before anyone else, or your sister's brand new show as she is a star? Obviously, her
easy,
show.
yeah,
That's way too easy.
Yeah.
Because I'd be killed. No.
You're
That's
just like that.
One. Yeah. I
Oh, by the way, her shirt does say Star Wars. Someone asked that earlier.
Oh yeah,
they're probably gone now.
It's funny because when we're looking at it, it's backwards. So I don't know whether it's backwards for you, but that is backwards, right? Yeah. Honestly, my head is not working. We should probably wrap this up soon. By the way,
I think so.
We've been talking for an hour and 16 minutes, and even longer on there. Sorry. Right. So yeah, that was an easy one. Humility James from Lorien, and Dennis says, but friends have photos together as well, so no problem. That's true, but just on the first meeting to have a photo with a stranger.
No, I remembered what it was. It comes back to that same thing of like, no one will believe that this happened.
Oh, right. Including yourself when you forget it.
Yeah. So I need to have evidence. Otherwise, it's what goes into that pile of things like, oh, Hannah's stringing us a long one again. Here we go.
I love it. Matt Black says Star Wars every time. Well, I think he'd be very offended about the fact that Matt would rather go see Star Wars than your owning Sean.
Friends off.
We'll try to think of a better one next time. Good lad. It was a good try. It was a very good try. But anyway, right, we're going to leave you alone, I think. We've chatted so much rubbish.
Sorry.
As you can see, totally runs in the family. Jeez, do you know what we should do one day? We should get Mummy in here as well.
Oh, God.
If we got our dad in here, he'd just sit there like that. He's just so exhausted.
I bet people would have good questions. Have you said what?
I don't think I have, no.
You don't want to? Never mind.
At some point it will come up anyway. Like, if it's relevant, I'll talk about it. But if it's not, then there's no point. Matt Black, cheerio. Bye, sisters. Love to see you both. Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for being with us. And she may come back another time to talk about something else if she has enjoyed it. She seems like she has.
If you want me back, I will come back.
All right, you're going to have to put comments then to get her back. She's like, I don't know, like you can be the glamorous person. See,
I'm getting my hair done on Thursday, so I really will be, because right now, this is not glamorous.
This is glamorous.
Oh.
Amazing. Anyway, have an amazing night. Facebook people, thank you for like tuning in, and sorry we kind of have ignored you, but we did say if you wanted to ask questions you had to come on here. But yes, have a nice evening, everybody. I'm going to sign off from YouTube first, and then we'll just deal with Facebook.
Bye, YouTubers. Thank you. Have a great week, Zalska.
Yeah, thank you for being kind. See you later.